Welcome to Business Time. My name is Kemini. Today we moved our studios to Parliament to discuss the economy. We'll discuss the economy based on three critical issues. One will be the IMF's third review of the economy. The second one will be the Fitch and Moody's ratings of the economy as well. And then we'll tie both issues into the NPP's manifesto launch. And so our third issue will be exactly what businesses can expect from the NPP should it come into power in 2017. We'll have this conversation with Dr. Akoto Osei. You don't want to miss it. My name is Kemini Amano. This program is powered by the Business and Financial Times newspaper and brought to you by Giant Malt. We'll be right back.
Uncle, please, can I check my number?
Okay. Wow! Gimme! You have won the ultimate prize, a brand new car.
What? A car?
Yes, a car, not a toy car. This is the key to your car. Wait, call your daddy.
Okay.
All right. So you see, he has won a car, but there are 4 more cars to be won, plus other amazing prizes and many more in the Giant Malt Open and Win promotion from July to October 2016. Just buy a can of Giant Malt, open a lid, and the number you find under it, voila, you can go to any Romani distributor or Royal Boat depots to redeem your prizes instantly. Giant Malt Open and Win promotion. Onapo, terms and conditions apply.
You're welcome back. Today we'll have a conversation on the economy, but first, let's go for the latest news roundup.
The West Africa Gas Pipeline Company has said it is ready to resume transportation of some 30 million standard cubic feet per day of gas to the Volta River Authority, although it expects the latter to fully settle $50 million out of its $162 million debt as soon as possible. In June 2016, WAPCO and the gas supplier NGAS curtailed supply to Ghana due to the lingering debt.
Thank you for staying with us on Business Time. This program is brought to you by Giant Malt and supported by Nalem Clothing and Jubin House of Beauty. It's also powered by the Business and Financial Times newspaper. If you just joined us, our main conversation today on the program is about the economy on the back of the IMF third review, the Fitch and Moody's ratings, and also what businesses can expect from the NPP manifesto launch tomorrow. Our guest today is Dr. Akoto Osei, Minority Spokesperson on Finance and the Economy generally. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the program. We are definitely grateful for your time. I think we'll want to start from the latest IMF review. What analysis has your party, yourself, made of this review?
Okay, first of all, let me be honest. I have not read the entire 21-page document. I only printed it yesterday. But generally, I have an idea what they're trying to say, and it's not good for Ghana. It's unfortunate that it is coming out at this time. You know that the IMF came for the third review in April. Didn't like what they saw, asked the government to come and see them in August. That did not go well. The last visit was August 29 to September 2. And clearly, this is their assessment. The government knows it. So you ask yourself, why would the government know that this is the true state of affairs, but don't... I don't like what the IMF has done in a certain sense. Because this program should have been approved by Parliament when it first came. Because it's a loan. The Constitution, per Article 1813, that every time it contracted a loan. So perhaps if they had brought it at that time, Parliament would have debated some of the provisions and some better consensus. They didn't. So it appears that before people begin to blame them, they are saying, look, this is the true state. Now they can't hide it anymore. But if you heard Bamia's lecture, you should not be surprised. Said the foundation is on straw. And that is what it's showing.
How would you hope that you save the country from going into that direction?
We have to do the right things. For example, some of us believe that the rate of borrowing is not the best and it is not going into efficient investment. The fact is that the investment GDP ratio has been going down. And so if that goes down, how do you grow? We need to pick the right expenditures to spend money on. Profligate spending will not help us. The business environment is unfriendly. We know for a fact that some taxes must be reduced, some may have to be abolished, and we have to look at all of that. We think that government itself cannot solve the problem. So it means the private sector must do it. But let me tell you this, it's frightening. 2015, I believe, the credit to the private sector was about 33%. This year, it's projected at 7%. So how is the private sector going to help if it doesn't get a credit? But the interest rates are too high. Energy costs are too high. All these things have to be brought down to bearable levels. And I think that restoration of macro stability would not be number one. But we have to make it business friendly so that they'll produce and we can get more revenue.
One of the things the review mentioned was the fact that it was looking forward to inflation going down to 13.5.
How are they going to do it?
Do you see that happening?
I mean, how? They should tell me. How? We are in, what, October?
October.
I think August was 16.9. So what is going to push it there? I mean, they wish for the best. If it goes down, the better. But I don't see, of course, the cocoa proceeds from cocoa board will help stabilize the exchange rate. So from that angle, we should not get too much fluctuation in terms of exchange rate. So what is left is the policy rate and the cost factors. I don't know that food production will suddenly be in a surplus, so the cost factors are not likely to go down. Expenditure overruns may come in terms of wages. So I think 13.5 is pushing it. In any case, the target is 8. So if you are 13.5, it's not helpful. But if it does, it may force the Bank of Ghana to bring the policy rate down. We have to do what is necessary to bring interest rates down. If we don't, we cannot grow.
Why do you think it was so hard for government to hold the wage bill and make it better?
It's in denial. The true wage bill, I mean, if you defer payment of social security contributions, it is real. You know, you can defer paying to SNET, but it hasn't gone away. Eventually, you have to pay it. And that's one of the things that you are holding back a statutory payment and think that you are doing well. So what happens when you decide to pay it all? It will blow up.
Why was it so difficult for government to meet its target as far as the wage bill is concerned?
Because it was postponing, denying that there were arrears to be paid. Eventually, you have to meet those payments. And for me, it is better to have a true assessment of where the economy is so that you'll be able to come up with the right tools to manage it. But it's been, the issue of arrears has been with us for the last 7 years.
And these arrears you talk about are arrears of?
Wages, statutory payments. When you don't meet it and you say that you are cutting back on expenditure, it doesn't make sense. They exist, and statutory means they are legal. You are breaking the law and you think that you can get away. So it's unfortunate.
Is there an idea, for instance, with the statutory payments, that if those payments are not made, we know where this money is going to?
First of all, if you read the IMF report, you'll see that first half year revenue was not the best. So sometimes it may be over-predicting. And so when those payments that are dependent on an income, if you don't get it, you don't meet it. But the fact is that you collect. So no matter how much you collect, you shouldn't be in arrears. Even if it's only 10%, you pay what you have collected. But I suspect there may be diversion of monies to other things that were not budgeted. And that's my worry.
Why should we worry about that?
Because 2012 is a typical example. Up to July, August, things seemed okay. Suddenly, in 2 or 3 months, we ended up with a double-digit deficit, over 11%. 2014. 2015, they say it's what, 6.9? But the arrears, if you put it all together, it's higher than. There's some postponement of some expenditures. Unfortunately, it's on investment. And once you cut back on investment, then you can't grow as high. So I'm not surprised they're projecting 3.3%.
Once again, the IMF was very worried about our borrowing culture.
Look, if you recall, in July, the minister told us when he brought a supplementary budget about that the debt GDP ratio was 63%. IMF, together with the ministry, is now saying at the end of 2015 it's 71.8. Why the big? Of course, the calculation that was done was technically incorrect. If you want the one at May, you use data for May. You don't use one for December and the other one for May. So technically, there's something wrong with it. But the true assessment, yes, the increase was slight compared to 2014, 70.2 to 71.8, but it's still high. Anytime it crosses the 60% threshold, you should watch it. Then the question is, what do you use it for? This last 750 million, we borrowed 750 million. 400 of it is going to repay the 400 million of the 27. And that's why Moody said, oh, when we do that, then in the medium term, the risk is less. Because the next bullet payment is 2020. So that is all Moody did. Remove the negative outlook to stable. Then we're singing hallelujah. We are not out of the woods. 70%, 71.8% is too high. Then I ask, where is it going? I see it going to places that, borrowing to pay debt, 9.25. When we borrowed that one at 8.5, does it make sense to you? I go and borrow 30% to pay a debt that I contracted at 25%. It doesn't make sense.
Does the NPP feel vindicated by the IMF third review?
We don't feel vindicated. We know the true situation. What annoys me is that IMF pretended that this is the time to tell the truth. We are suffering.
Uncle, please, can I check my number?
Okay. Wow! Gimme! You have won the ultimate prize, a brand new car.
What? A car?
Yes, a car, not a toy car. This is the key to your car. Wait, call your daddy.
Okay.
All right. So you see, he has won a car, but there are 4 more cars to be won, plus other amazing prizes and many more in the Giant Malt Open and Win promotion from July to October 2016. Just buy a can of Giant Malt, open a lid, and the number you find under it, voila, you can go to any Romani distributor or Royal Boat depots to redeem your prizes instantly. Giant Malt Open and Win promotion. Onapo, terms and conditions apply.
Let's talk about your party. If all things go well, this will be the economy that you'll be inheriting. We've named a number of issues from our borrowing culture, from inflation, expenditure and all that. You've mentioned that you threw some taxes away. You're going to check expenditure and all that. What are you going to do differently?
Well, first of all, our flag bearer has said it, the vice president candidate has said it. On the fiscal side, we'll definitely look at the tax system. We believe strongly that some taxes are not needed. When you overtax, you end up getting less revenue. 2001, thereabouts, we reduced income tax rates. We intend to do the same. We need to create the environment where businesses can produce and hence pay taxes. If my hairdressing businesses collapse, you can't tax me. Cost of doing business is too high. We need to do something about the energy taxes, petroleum taxes. We need to create the environment such that people are encouraged to produce. That's one thing we'll do. Expenditures, you have to prioritize. The activity of government expenditures, sole sourcing overinflated projects don't help us. To wit, Rich Hospital, moving from 200 to 400, 300 million. When we know around the world people are building better hospitals for cheaper. It doesn't help us. So we take some of these things and make sure that they're efficient expenditure. We are not necessarily poor. Yes, we don't have all the resources. But if you focus If you don't waste money in JIDA or SUBA and the rest, there's money. But it has to be used properly. I mean, that is the bane of proper economic management.
Okay, so if I understand what you're saying, you're going to cut down on taxes.
Some taxes will reduce,
Some taxes
some
will
will
reduce,
abolish.
some will be abolished, which means that you'll be taking something away from revenue, but at the same
But
time, you counter
are you sure
it
they are
with...
getting enough revenue? You
Are
see,
they not?
If you need 1 billion and you impose a tax that brings you 20 million cedis, it is inefficient. In fact, it's counterproductive. That's where you have to look at the balances. When you put a tax on condoms, how much are you going to get? How much? Cutlass. So you need to focus. Financial services tax. Common sense that says that we should encourage people to use the banking system. You go and put a VAT of 17.5%. Even people like me who like to use the bank, now if I have a choice, I'll send somebody with the money. If I go and do a transfer, it's expensive. That is, to me, it should be abolished. It does not encourage using our banking system. A lot of our people are unbanked. We should be encouraging people to go into the banking system rather than discouraging them.
If you cut those taxes or reduce some of which you have mentioned also, where would you get your money from to run the country?
Cutting